Well, technology is evolving our world every single day, and marine technology and electronics are adapting and diversifying constantly. For more on this topic, I spoke with marine expert Max Stein earlier.
Hi, good evening.
Great to have your company. Now, talk to us about your business and how exactly these kind of electronics in regards to marine have evolved over time.
Well, we are an upcycling company, so we take electronics that come off of boats that are being redone and we resell them. They go through a very rigorous process of testing and refurbishing. And as this technology has been evolving faster and faster and faster, so has the influx of these electronics that come into our company.
So, in regards to, I guess, marine tech, where is it sort of headed at the moment?
I think that marine tech has gone from sort of its own technology to becoming more similar to smartphones, being app-based, Android-based, and all of the manufacturers have moved to that model. It's evolving at the same speed now as consumer electronics, whereas before a new product line might have been introduced every 7 or 8 years. Now it's being introduced every 2 or 3 years. So it's constantly a race between the manufacturers to come out with the latest product.
In regards to, I guess it is quite an oversaturated market as well. How does your company sort of, I guess, stand out from the rest?
Well, for one thing, we do something different than everybody else does. We don't sell new electronics. We don't do installation. We do what we do, and we do it very well. And I think that that's been a huge part of our success is, being different, adapting to change, and we've done that over the last 10 years.
That's amazing. Yeah, definitely to have your company running for 10 years. Now, talk to us about how it all started from the beginning as well. Now, I hear it started by accident. Is that right?
It absolutely did. It was 2008, 2009. I was hanging neon signs, vinyl letters for a living, and I wasn't working very much because there weren't a lot of businesses that were starting at that time. So I started going to garage sales. Long story short, I ended up purchasing a piece of marine electronics at a garage sale. And being an avid boater and fisherman, it sort of interested me. It ended up selling for way more than I thought it would. And the gentleman that bought it picked it up, and I asked him why he bought it. And he told me that the reason he bought it was that that was the unit that was on the boat before. That unit had failed, and that it was already, the dash was already cut for that unit, and all the wiring was already present for that unit, and they didn't want any other unit on his customer's boat but that unit. And that's when the light bulb went off, and I said, this could actually be something very successful.
Wow. And I mean, talk us through that process, I guess, of being such a young entrepreneur. What are some of the challenges that you faced? And I mean, especially when it comes to tech, tech has evolved so much, especially over even the last 5 years. So to go with that, I guess, to go with society and go with those changes, it must have taken a lot of guts from you.
Yeah, I mean, being young, I guess the first thing was inexperience, but as time went on, I got over that one pretty quick. Another thing was people taking me seriously. I was 24 years old, and I don't exactly look older than I am. So I, I was the young guy in the industry that was dominated by, men in their 50s and 60s. And as far as tech evolving, yeah, I mean, that has been a big challenge. Not only, learning this new technology as it evolves, but we're an e-commerce based company. So, having to improve the website constantly, having to update plugins, all that kind of stuff has been a big challenge for us.
Absolutely. And I mean, what does the future of the industry look like in your eyes?
I think the future of the marine industry is very strong. Even before COVID, COVID has caused a lot of people to purchase boats and has actually, made things crazy in the marine industry. But even before that, the industry was headed in a very good direction, and I think that that's here to stay. You know, the biggest issue that we have in the marine industry is not having enough people to do the amount of work that's required. Um, I can't remember the last time we had to cap overtime at Max Marine Electronics. There's just so much work to be done and not enough people to do it, and I don't see that changing anytime soon.
Absolutely. Now, any exciting projects that you're working on at the moment?
Yeah, we actually started a production department. So a lot of the marine electronics parts and pieces that go into making these electronics are sold for a period of time after the item is discontinued. But once that time is gone, those parts are no longer available. So about a year ago, we invested in some 3D printers and we started producing parts to replicate these things that fail commonly on marine electronics. And that went from, one item to, I think we're doing 30 or 40 different items now, and we have a bunch in development. And we've created a whole department around this idea that started just as something fun to do a year or so ago. And that's very exciting.
And I mean, sometimes that's the way, isn't it? It always starts out as a fun idea, and that's when it has the most success because you're really enjoying what you're doing as well. So thanks so much, Max, for joining us on Ticker. It's been a pleasure to speak with you.
Absolutely.